One of the main reasons that we're making this big change to our arrangements on how we RV particularly has to do with this stay that we had in New Hampshire, and it has to do with boondocking and the affordability that boondocking comfortably brings you to this kind of lifestyle. We found out that most of that part of the country, the New England area, doesn't have a lot of services. There's a lot of boondocking that goes on over there. We don't know quite why. It's kind of unique, but we did find out that the places that do have hookups are fairly expensive. So we ended up boondocking a lot. So it definitely changed our perspective of as far as how we wanted to do this. It made us realize that the rig we have is not very friendly to boondocking unless we spend a lot of time, effort, and money in order to make it more friendly that way, and particularly with electricity. So we decided, instead of doing that, to do something that's a little bit more versatile at the moment we are in our lives, which is to have a trailer and a truck instead. That way we can all ride together again, and a trailer we can really customize. We feel like it might be more affordable than a diesel pusher. So we're hoping that the money extends to having experiences like this be a little bit more of what we're looking for. Nevertheless, our stay in New Hampshire was absolutely wonderful. So the gang is out collecting wood. It's one of those forests where they don't want you to bring wood from the outside, so it's all right to go around and just collect wood. So Brian and the kids are kind of scrounging. You gotta have a fire when you boondock.
I hope it won't get catched on fire.
You hope it won't catch on fire?
Let me see.
Can I roast it?
I want to let you, but it's too hot and you're
It's catching on fire.
still little.
Is it?
I'm 5 years old, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a teenager.
You're a big 5. It's good.
Yeah.
Here, let's make this one.
Big.
Okay, I'm gonna let Emma have the first one.
I want that one.
I'm gonna let Emma have the first one. You get that one right there. Papa's coming.
Here we go, here we go.
This one's for you. Now let me make sure I put very little chocolate on it then. Okay, here you go. I just got one of her hairs on me. You have to edit that. And it won't come off my marshmallow fingers.
This is a bunch of little marshmallows, is all we got. And the kids were dying for s'mores as soon as they saw the fire.
I probably don't need one.
It's a pound of sugar. Here, you can have some of mine.
Yeah, I'll have some of yours. And we need to buy a new bag.
Those
That
are
looks
last year's
awful.
marshmallows. So,
And they got a little warm, so they're all stuck together. Little bitty mini marshmallows. It's a garden.
so surprise, surprise, up here in New Hampshire, it gets cold. But since we're boondocking, there's no electricity. So what do? We have one of these little guys. All you gotta do, you know, for safety reasons, even though it's an indoor heater, we always crack one of the ceiling vents in a window somewhere to create just a little bit of a draft. But it's an indoor heater and it runs on these little propane things. It's like a 4,000 BTU heater, so it makes it toasty in there really fast. Nice and hot. So the house inside will be toasty when the family gets up. So I should elaborate a little bit. I have the heater in there all set up and going. We do have heat. We have the central heat, but the blower is kind of loud, and after being quiet all night, if I turn that blower on, it's going to wake everybody up. So that's the main reason I came out and did the little heater buddy. And we do have electricity, but not enough to run a heater, an electric heater. you know, that'll kill the batteries in 2 seconds. So that's when I use that little buddy heater thing. And it saves us from having to go and get LP and stuff like that. You know, it's more versatile. We can put it outside because it's like 4,000 BTU, so we can put it outside. It's like a little fireplace. So it's kind of nice to have that little thing running around. It just takes up space half the year, that's all.
Wow, look at these berries.
Oh my goodness.
That's good.
Those are awesome. Wow, those are really sweet and tart.
Blackberry.
That's awesome. This whole length right here, it's just full of blackberry bushes. And they all have these little blackberries. That's awesome. And still a lot coming in. Really tasty. The kids are going nuts over them.
Look at this baby one. Isn't this beautiful, Daddy?
We're gonna become Oompa Loompas.
Here, Axel. Put this in your bucket.
Yeah. Let's see how full we can get that bucket. We can have a good breakfast tomorrow. Maybe we can make blackberry pancakes.
Thank you.
He's like, thank you.
Thank you.
Blackberry pancakes tomorrow. I picked out the red. Wow!
Yeah, you gotta be careful with the thorns.
You have to be
Look, this is a
slowly.
big one.
Oh my goodness, Daddy gave me big ones too.
Yeah.
Look, here's one. Here's another one. Hiding right behind the leaf.
These are awesome. Look at those things. Let me see. Whoa, that is a lot of blackberries. I hear a frog.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I hear a bird.
You hear a bird, not a frog.
Daddy, all the black ones are red. Look, there's.
Stay to the black ones. The red ones are still not done yet. They're not ripe. I love the smell of fire. And that is our craft setup. We'll probably do flowers again since it's one of the easier ones. Or we might just let the kids use their imagination and do whatever they want. That's definitely the easiest. And they have a lot more fun that way than in being all structured. But yeah, I just save styrofoam egg cartons and toilet paper rolls, fuzzy sticks, googly eyes. Just nonsense stuff, but the kids eat this up like crazy. When I was a kid, this was my bread and butter. So this is boondocking. It's also known as dry camping, off the grid, that kind of stuff. We're not necessarily off the grid, so that definition doesn't quite fit because we got 3 bars of Verizon. So we got a really good signal, which usually in these places is really awesome. But boondocking or dry camping is when you go camping with a motorhome or an RV and you don't have any kind of hookup, water, electric, sewer, no hookups whatsoever. So everything you have, if you're self-contained, you know, that definitely helps things. So it's a USDA Forest Service park campground, and in these kind of parks they have generator hours, so 8 to 10, 5 to 7 is basically the generator hours, so that whoever comes with an RV can catch up with their batteries, which is plenty of time for us. We have the batteries and we have an inverter, so we have power for all our necessities. The only thing we don't have is, you know, the thing we do without is television and microwaves. So we have our refrigerator, we have all our lights, water, all our pumps work. We have propane heaters, we have propane water heaters. We can take showers. So it's not really, you're not really that far off the grid, right? I mean, we have all the basic necessities. You just have to manage them really well so that they last you throughout the day without you running out of batteries. One of the tips that we give people that we meet to have a residential fridge like we do, get up in the middle of the night when the cycle for the refrigerator is done from the evening's activities. So around 1 o'clock in the morning, depending when you go to bed, 2 o'clock in the morning, and turn off the inverter. Because the only critical piece that you have is the refrigerator. So turn off the inverter and save your batteries. And then when you get up in the morning, turn the inverter back on and the refrigerator goes through one cycle and everything's caught up. And it saves an enormous amount of your batteries. So we do that. That's one of the ways that we manage our electricity, and it helps tremendously. So yeah, this is boondocking, one of my favorites. The feel of just being disconnected, and not necessarily forced to, but definitely encouraged to. The kids can do things like go find some blackberries to pick. It's a big world out there. Not that our kids don't get out enough, but it's still. So yeah, this is rocking it.
We're gonna make a caterpillar.
A caterpillar. Boy, let me see this haul of blackberries that you guys got. Oh my goodness. This thing is like...
Don't dump them.
I am not dumping them, baby. I'm just looking at how many we have. So one of the things we're gonna do this time is when we went through all those storms a week or two ago, it seems like we got flooded a bit. The main bay, we haven't taken everything out. So what we're gonna do during this stay is basically take everything out, lay it out on the ground and inspect the inside. We think we have a hitchhiker and it's living in the bay. So we're gonna empty out the bay and yeah, hopefully I won't scream when the thing jumps out at me. Hopefully it's not coming along and it's just little chipmunks we see here and there, but we'll see. Ever since we started traveling with the truck, we really use the back of the truck for our high-touch items, and the driver's side of the bay, which is the hardest one to get to, because when the slide is out,
It's hard to get to underneath.
it's hard to get underneath there. It's just a backbreaker, especially if the thing weighs anything.
But it's a bay that opens, it goes from one side all the way to the other.
Now we're airing it all out. It looks good. It's not as bad as I thought it was. What saved us was this table, this aluminum table that we have. That's a really big one, so when we need it, we break that out. But it saved us because we have it as the floor, so it raised everything off the bed of the bay about 1.5 inches, and I think it kept everything dry except the tent. So, yay! We don't have to dry anything out or put anything out. So fantastic. Very good news. And I didn't find the critter. Yeah, so everything fits nice and neat in there. That's all our extra stuff. The only thing that really comes in and out of there every time we stop is probably the water hose. Everything else kind of just chills in there. Ta-da! Oh, he's got a little burrow. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I see you. He's just looking at me. What is your intention, sir? So here we are in one of our little ventures that we do now and then, a wood hunt.
We learned from other campers.
Yeah, it's their fault. It's Sunday afternoon, and on Sunday afternoon, campgrounds pretty much empty out. Campgrounds like these Forest Service ones, where they have a lot of campsites and it fills up during the weekend and then it empties out. So when it empties out, we go around scrounging wood, and we come back with loads. We'll see.
I got wood. No.
Oh my goodness, it's slim pickings. I think we got beaten, to to all these. So yeah, we just made $5 this morning, so hey.
A free fire, free campfire.
So this is kind of like mid-stay or so. Just past the Sunday exodus. Yeah, this has been kind of our crafts table. Didn't get any afters of the setup, but there was an after. And didn't get the setup for this one, but this is the after of it. So hopefully it balances out. This is a little wrap up of our first boondocking adventure of the year. It's looking like, you know, during the time that we've been doing this, we boondock a lot during spring and fall. And it has to do with the fact that we don't have solar at the moment, and the temperature in spring and fall, it's just really wonderful to boondock because you don't need a lot of power. You don't need heaters, and you don't need air conditioners. In winter we boondock a lot more than we do in summer because LP heaters are easy to operate and inexpensive. So doing, you know, boondocking in winter is also one of our things. We've had a lot of fun here. It's a huge forest. The canopy is just sky high. At night it is pitch black. It's like you have your eyes closed. That's part of the boondocking experience. The silence and the darkness are really, really phenomenal. It's unusual to get those two together. You feel like you're in a isolation chamber. And just a beautiful, beautiful time here. Moving on tomorrow to a private park, which we don't stay at very often. Maine, which is where we're ending up on next week, is scarce on electric sites or sites with hookups of any sort. Not that we want hookups, but their state parks are either astronomically expensive while you boondock. Yeah, even these Forest Service up here north, they're a little more expensive than normal for when we're in the Southwest, when we're in the Midwest. Campgrounds like this are usually $5 a night, up to $10 for the more expensive ones. And this one over here in New England is $22 a night. But it is quite beautiful, and considering that all the campgrounds here have a certain price tag to them, this is actually very affordable for being in this space. So we've really, really enjoyed it. We love this kind of stay. It really takes you out and makes you feel the environment that we've chosen to live in. Being in an RV, being self-sufficient, managing your water, managing your disposal, managing your electricity. It really makes you feel like, you know, you can do anything. I don't know why.